Cravings can drive our habits by creating a desire for the reward. This process involves dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. Cues have the power to motivate the routine. For example, the eating of a donut, because they've been associated with the reward, the pleasant taste we experience when we eat it. So when we see a cue, this triggers a release of dopamine in our brain, which is the anticipation of reward. If we don't eat the donut, we begin to experience cravings that can lead our brains into autopilot. Even when there's strong disincentives of a routine, things like loss of reputation, loss of a job, home, and family, a craving is what makes cues and rewards work. Cravings power the habit loop. By managing cravings, we can better gain control over our behaviors. There is good news though. Cravings do not have complete authority over us. In order to regain control over our behaviors, we must recognize that cravings that drive our behavior. This leads us to the specific steps that will help us create a desired habit. To create a new habit, we must start by identifying the cues and rewards associated with it. We can use cravings to our advantage by associating them with the desired behavior. For instance, if you want to exercise regularly, set out your workout clothes or shoes the night before as a simple cue. And you must plan an exercise regimen that has a rewarding component in it, like going on a walk with a friend that you like, or going to an exercise class that you enjoy, or playing a sport that you enjoy. If you choose a mode, intensity, or type of exercise that you hate, it's not likely that it will ever become a habit. Next, let's say that you want to change a maladaptive habit. Replacing bad response can be more effective than trying to eliminate them. This is done by keeping the same cue and reward, but changing the routine. For example, I once started a habit of drinking a lot of iced coffee. I realized this habit was becoming a problem when my pants started getting too tight. Instead of trying to eliminate the iced coffee habit immediately, I replaced the response, which was the type of drink. First, I started with drinking a diet soda, which still had the caffeine, but didn't have the calories, so it was less bad. I still had the same cue, the thirst or the craving for the caffeine, and the reward, the quenched thirst from a tasty drink and stimulation. I wanted to continue to improve my habit, so eventually I replaced my diet soft drink with carbonated water. Then eventually I replaced that carbonated water with plain old water. When habits emerge unintentionally, they can be reshaped by adjusting their components. Before we can reshape our habits, we must understand each component in the habit loop. This is called awareness training. Let's use an example of a person who has a habit of chewing her nails. To become aware of the components of this habit, she could carry a note card with her, and each time she finds herself chewing on her nails, she could pull out that note card and make a tally. Additionally, she could note what exactly triggered her nail biting, as well as what was reinforcing about that behavior. Over time, her awareness may expand to understand her nail biting behavior is triggered by a sense of nervousness or anxiety and reinforced by a sense of completeness upon finishing. Once she understands the cue and the reward, she can replace the nail biting response with a different mannerism, like twiddling her thumbs or putting her hands in her pockets. This replacement strategy is called a competing response. In other words, a person gains awareness of the habits in their life. They can use a competing response to reshape their behaviors. Whenever we experience the cue and a craving for that particular stimulation, we can delay, and decide to insert a new routine into that habit loop. Let's look at another example. Let's say a person notices that they're spending more time on social media while at work than they would like to be. This is how it could unfold. A person feels that they're bored or stressed at work, which provokes a craving to check their social media. After awareness training, when this trigger occurs, they can use delay by immediately putting their hands in their pockets or holding a pen in each hand, something that makes it impossible to pick up the phone. And then they could insert a new routine, going on a 2 to 5 minute walk. The reward that this walk also provides is a distraction from stress, an interruption from boredom, and entertainment, along with increased energy and stimulation. Once again, the cue and reward stayed the same, only that routine changed. Next, research shows that some habits are more powerful than others. Specifically, keystone habits are powerful because they have positive spillover effect on other behaviors. Exercise is one example. Regular exercise not only improves physical health, but has also been shown to boost productivity, encourages healthier eating, and reduces stress.